What's going on, guys? Bob Buskirk here at ThinkComputers, and today we're going to be doing our installation here on AZZA's Silentium 920K. So we have our basic system here. This is a Z77 system with our gigabyte motherboard. We have a Radeon HD 6950 graphics card. We have a normal 3.5-inch drive, and we have a 2.5-inch solid-state drive. We have our Blu-ray drive and a 1000 watt power supply. So let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is install your motherboard, and AZZA has already installed the two standoffs on the top, and then you do have the little push outs here, so you won't have to install the standoffs yourself. So what you want to do is go ahead and take your motherboard, make sure you have your IO shield installed, which we do, and we go ahead and place it in there nice and easily. Just like that. Make sure our cables are out of the way here. And just looking at it right now, all of the holes line up perfectly, so you don't have to kind of move the motherboard around and get it situated. It sits in there just perfectly, so what you're going to want to do is secure it with screws. For hard drive installation, you have your trays here, and there are quite a few, and they easily come out, so go ahead and take one out. And for 3.5-inch drive installation, it is extremely easy. What you do is you take your drive here, and of course we want the ports going towards the back of the case. So we put it in here just like this, and there's little grooves in here that kind of go into the holes in your hard drive here, and it's just like that. It's on there, it's not going to move, and you can just go ahead and slide it in and lock it right into place. Now for 2.5-inch drive installation, things are a little bit different. You're gonna have to screw this one in yourself. So if we go ahead and take another one out, you can see there are 4 holes right on there. So what you're gonna do is take your hard drive here and screw it in to those 4 holes with the included screws. I've gone ahead and installed those 4 screws right here on the back. Very easy to do. And one thing I like about AZZA is what they've done with this is a lot of times with trays that support 2.5-inch and 3.5-inch drives is that they don't let the drive overhang the end. So you can see here, it overhangs the end, and that allows you to easily connect your SATA and power connections. Not only that, the ones that are shaped like an L, you won't have a problem installing those on these. So that is a plus. So just like the normal 3.5-inch drive, we just go ahead, flip it over here, and slide it right back in, and you're good to go. For optical drive installation, we're going to be using the top drive here, and this is the one that actually is the hidden drive like that. So you're going to want to open your door up here, and you're going to want to slide this in. It takes a little bit of force to get it back through there, but it's not that extremely hard here. Just give it a little push and make sure you look inside and see where everything is going. There you go. You get it past the hard part and slide it back, and it's going to go all the way back till it really can't go back any farther. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your toolless locking system right here, which we'll move this over so you guys can see that. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it in here, and the holes line up as you can see right there. So you have your 2 holes that line up, and you're going to take the toolless locking system here. It is kind of hard because this one's a little bit up under the actual place here. Now it did take a little bit of work. I had to kind of cut the video because I had to kind of get up in there and get that one in. Now these ones should be a lot easier because it's not up under this lip on the case, but you should be able to get that one in pretty easily. And again, if you don't want to use the tool system, you can completely remove them and just use screws. Power supply installation should be pretty easy here. There's not a lip or anything like that that you really have to worry about. It's pretty much just put it in the bottom of the case. So we're going to go ahead and take our power supply here and just more or less just put it in. Now there is one issue that I do see. It kind of comes down on this rubber pad a little bit, as you can see right there. Now of course if you have a longer power supply, that could be a bigger issue. And it doesn't look like there's something that's lifting the power supply off the bottom of the case that much. You know, if there's a little bit of room under the power supply, I like that just because of their, you know, it provides better airflow for that fan that is on the bottom of the case. But we're going to go ahead and wire everything. Of course, secure our power supply on the back with screws and see how the case looks. I've gone ahead and finished our installation here. Now there's a couple of things that I want to mention. First being that this fan right here, as we mentioned in our overview video, only has a Molex connection, and they do not include any adapters. It would have been nice that I could just connect it directly to my motherboard so I wouldn't have this cable going down and over to my power supply. Also, there is no opening right here for your CPU power cable, so you're going to have to stretch your CPU power cable either up from your power supply on the front of the case or going behind and putting it up through this top hole. Now, if you do that, you're probably going to need to use an extender, which we do have, but again, AZZA didn't include that either. So if you do have an extender, it's going to fit fine, but if you don't, it's going to be quite a stretch and you may not be able to connect it. Now, if we go over to the back here, there's one thing that you're definitely going to have to do with this case, because there is not a lot of room on the back, is that you're going to have to tie down things pretty good. You know, a lot of cases you can just put your cables behind and you don't have to tie them down. This case, you're definitely going to have to do that. I've tied down like 6 or 7 different times. All of the cables are tied down, and AZZA only includes 2 cable ties and then 2 of the larger ones that don't lock, or that lock, that allow you to unlock them as well. The really big ones, that's just not enough for this case. AZZA should have included at least 5 or 6, if not more. They do have all the tie down points, which is nice. If they didn't have that, we would have had a lot of trouble, but I was able to get my backside panel back on the case even with all this cable mess, so that is definitely a plus. But you know, if you have a lot of cables going back and forth, you're gonna have a problem if you don't tie them down. But that's basically it. Installation went really well. Again, the only real problems is you're gonna have to take a lot of time to tie things down, and of course the other issues that I did mention. So that wraps it up for our installation here on the AZZA Silentium 920 case. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And remember guys, if you like our videos, why don't you subscribe? Thanks for watching.